At E3 2018, CD Projekt Red published the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer on YouTube for the consumption of the masses. However, behind closed doors at the event, the company hosted a PC gameplay demo, with a full 50 minutes or so of action in front of an invited audience. There are many analyses of this long-lived demo, like this one, which are worth a look if the shorter demo left you wanting more. Unfortunately, as yet, no footage of this session has been shared. If you are at all enthused about Cyberpunk 2077, I bet that you are wondering if this is one of those games that will inspire an upgrade or new build PC. That raises the question of what kind of PC hardware the 50-minute demo was demonstrated on. One of the journos over at PCGAMESN sat in on the gameplay demo and reckoned that CD Projekt Red must have employed some next-gen hardware or perhaps top-end current GPUs and SLI to power the graphically stunning 4K 30Hz experience. The PC used to run the Cyberpunk 2077 E3 demo wasn't some unicorn next-gen machine using yet-to-be-released components, but simply a top-end contemporary model many enthusiasts might aspire to build for themselves. The key tech specs were listed by CDPR Junior Community Specialist, Alicia Cosera, on the official Cyberpunk 2077 Discord channel as follows: CPU, Intel i7-8700K at stock speeds 3.70 GHz motherboard, Asus ROG Strix Z370i gaming RAM, 2x16GB G-Skill Rip JAWS V, 3000 MHz, CL15. Graphics card, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 SSD, Samsung 960 Pro 512GB M.2 PCIe power supply, Corsair SF600 600W. Reports from the demo showcase say that there were no noticeable frame rate drops, stuttering or similar issues during the 50-minute session. The upcoming game is based on a massively updated version of the Red Engine, version 4, notes PCGAMESN. However, the game doesn't aim at the same kind of realism as The Witcher 3, as it presents a more man-made stylized comic book aesthetic. With optimizations and refinements, one would hope that the game engine becomes faster and more efficient as the game release date gets nearer. Cyberpunk 2077 will be further showcased at Gamescom 2018, in August. Log in with forum account. Don't have an account? Register today. This creates more questions than it answers, really. Need that 32GB RAM? Did it need that NVMe drive? How far pushed was the GPU and CPU? Is my 770K 16GB RAM going to be enough for max settings with the right GPU? Will this run on all high-end 10 series cards or AMD equivalent at various settings? Will it need a 1080p or better to max the game out even at 1080p, or is that just for 4K? In other words, did I and many others spent nearly 2K for a machine last year that's going to disappoint me in 2 years' time even if I upgrade the GPU? I have a lot of faith in CDPR. I hope, and think they will, get optimization down. I would cry if they turn into the next Ubisoft. The demo was running 4K 30fps, I assume. That is 4 times the number of pixels than 1080p. So to get 60 FPS at 1080p you probably will need something much less powerful than a GTX 1080 Ti, unless we have some new stuff like RTX added. That is the hope and assumption, cat. Obviously they are going to use the best parts available so that it runs at its absolute best for journalists, but I want to know which parts, if any, are way overkill for the game in that rig, and which parts are actually going to be needed to get a decent experience out of it. If they add RTX, it would make this game look absolutely incredible. It already does. RTX with this game would be worth a GPU upgrade for sure, like I said, as long as they don't pull a Ubisoft on us. Unnecessarily downgrade the graphics on release in a stupid attempt to stop it murdering the CPU to submission through crappy optimization. I'll be happy. If they go with Gaminot Works again, the recommended requirement will be a 1080p. Gotta tessellate each individual butt hair. The evil cycler. This creates more questions than it answers, really. Did it need that 32GB RAM? Did it need that NVMe drive? How far pushed was the GPU and CPU? Is my 770 16GB RAM going to be enough for max settings with the right GPU? Will this run on all high-end 10 series cards or AMD equivalent at various settings? Will it need a 1080p or better to max the game out even at 1080p, or is that just for 4K? This wasn't any kind of announcement about required or recommended system spec, it was just an answer to the question, what did you run the demo on? That it was running extremely well on parts easily attainable today is a good sign given how far out the game's release is likely to be, no date set yet. Many games out now already need something like a 1080p to play at 4K smoothly. In other words, did I and many others spent nearly 2K for a machine last year that's going to disappoint me in 2 years' time even if I upgrade the GPU? I'm hoping and expect to be able to play it fine on a system that's 9 years old. Shrugs. If you want guaranteed longevity for the money then console gaming calls, it's very likely this will be released for consoles too.